So morning lovelies. Just starting where you want to, relaxed on the mat, lying down or seated, whatever feels right for you this morning. And I know some of you have got things that you need to be careful of. So just being very gentle. If a pose doesn't feel right, please just adapt it first if you need to, but if all else fails, just completely come out of it. Relax back into a neutral spine, or take a pose that actually your body feels like it needs. Although I'm here to facilitate and lead, you're the one that knows your body best. So if I see you doing something else, I know that you're honouring your satya and ahimsa, which is the most important thing of all. So let's just ground ourselves for a moment. Whatever your morning's been like, whatever space you're in at the moment, let's just settle into our mat. Root down into Gaia, Mother Earth, and connect back to ourselves. Life can be so busy and our view of life so external from ourselves, so let's just come inward. Take a moment, let's scan through our chakras, just check in with how root feels, sacral, below the navel, lower back. Solar plexus, above your navel and mid part of the body. And noticing how your heart energy feels at the front of your chest, the back of the upper back, involving shoulders and arms. Throat, and then your third eye and your crown, the higher spiritual energies. It's always lovely just to take a kind of a scanning glance at how we feel and use our intuition to know whether we feel good in one area or whether there's an area that's slightly out of balance. So what is your intention for your practice? If you have one, perhaps thinking of something now, whether it's just to be a bit more mindful of a certain area, to come into tune with an area that is out of balance, and maybe asking this, what you need to do to nurture the healing, physically, emotionally, mentally. And just have a moment of gratitude also before we start. Rather than I'm grateful for my family, try and be more specific. Perhaps it's the way a friend or your partner smiled at you yesterday. Or just a lovely comment that was given to you in a conversation with somebody. So trying to just be really specific of the little things that bring gratitude to you. And connecting to a nice soft belly breath. So we'll come into a seated position. If you're lying down, just gently hug your knees in. If you're already seated, maybe just a nice little roll of the shoulders, just getting comfortable as we come into Zazen. We'll take our 5 minutes, so around 5 minutes, with mindfulness of breath. Lovely meditation that just sort of draws us into sort of our alpha brain waves, just by following the breath. So first part, we count the out breath 1 to 10, then we count the in breath 1 to 10, then we drop the count, and then we really focus on how we are in the moment and just being with ourselves. So just rest the hands to Dhyana Mudra. Let your eyelids gently close, and then we'll begin. So out breath 1 to 10. No need to rush, take your time. Relaxing your face. And then, if you haven't already, swap to the in-breath counting. Notice if your mind is just absorbed with the count. And after 10, just relax your count, just tune into your breath. Now just really try and tune in and focus on all the physical feelings you get as you breathe. Belly, chest, shoulders gently lifting, back expanding. Being aware of your thoughts without controlling them. And then very gently just maybe take one more breath. And we'll blink our eyes open. Noticing how you feel. It doesn't take very long, 5 minutes, and we're in that sort of lovely alpha brain waves where we can allow inspiration to come through, our creativity, answers to problems, all that sort of thing. So, coming off your cushions if you're on them, we'll come into dragonfly, first one. A nice stretch on the inner legs. If you need something under your knees, rolled blanket, something soft, and even like a little rolled blanket under the buttocks just to create a little wedge is sometimes nice as well. So just gently, let's explore this pose. You're going to feel it on your inner legs mainly. Relax your feet and ankles. And then just very gently let your body mould into whatever shape it's going to. Gently just following your breath and really tuning into what you're feeling in your body. The stretch that you get on your inner legs, is it more so on the right leg or the left leg? Around your calf or behind the knee? And then as we attune to the pose, we might notice a bit more relaxation we can find in the upper back and shoulders. Bringing your awareness to your breath in the belly. Where else can you feel a little bit of tightness and tension? Just allow yourself to explore a little bit more of a move forward if that feels right for you. And without judgment, just observe where your thoughts are, whether they are in the moment on your physical body, in your emotional body or mental body. Notice every now and then if there's a little bit of tightness that you find developing in the backs of your legs. And then with a nice deep breath, we'll gently walk our hands back towards our body, lift up slowly, enjoying that kind of lovely release that you get very gradually as you lift your body through your legs. And then we'll come into neutral spine. Moving slowly, observing how it feels through your back, your hips, your knees. Nice deep breaths. Gently noticing how long it takes you to relax your back. It always takes me probably 5 or more breaths to really feel like I'm melting and letting go. So what do you notice? Where do you feel perhaps a little bit of tenderness? Where's the energy flowing more so through your body? And then when you're ready, we'll bring our knees into chest. There's 3 poses I was going to do today, but I'm completely changing them. I'm going to do something else, just because I think, based on what you might all be dealing with, we'll make it a bit more gentle today. So we will come into cat's tail. So we'll lie on our right side. Get a cushion for your head, because I find it even more relaxing to use a cushion. So lying on the right, and if you need any padding underneath your hip, sometimes just Another blanket will make everything a bit more comfortable. Draw your left knee over, almost like you're coming into recovery position. If you can grab your foot, your right foot and your left hand, great. If not, don't worry. And then we're going to just be lying on our side to start with. You can lie your head on your upper arm if you haven't got a pillow. And this is the beauty of this twisting pose, is that you can come into it as much or as little as you want to. And if you've got issues with the knees, you don't have to hold that foot. You can just let the leg be restful on the mat. It's about the twist. When you're ready, you can just gently, tentatively lean your left shoulder back and explore how much or as little as you want to feel this pose today. Try and let your head relax on the little pillow, because we often hold so much tension in the neck. We don't always have to be pushing into the hardest pose to feel like we've done our yoga or a practice. Sometimes the most yogic thing is to know that you have to be very gentle and pull back a lot more. It's listening to the body. Notice if your buttocks are tight. If your buttocks are tight, your lower back is often tight. Keep trying to relax the head and the neck and the shoulders. Notice your thoughts. Just be the witness of whatever's going around in your mind in this moment. Know that you are the thinker of your thoughts rather than your thoughts just thinking on themselves on their own. Checking in with your body and whether you quite like this pose today, whether you're in the pose in the lower end of your threshold or at the top end of your threshold. Where else can you relax? Belly breathing. And just as we come to the end of 5 minutes here, just notice whether you've become quite sort of used to this pose, whether it's become quite comfortable. So we'll take a deep breath. Releasing your foot, nice and gently lower as you bend that knee or release the knee. Roll yourself back on to the side and then onto your back. Nice and slowly as we come out of a twist, we want to be gentle with our spine. Lifting our hips, place our body down. And just as we move one limb at a time, we can support our body in Shavasana, relax, and just feel whatever you feel. Where is there a coldness? It might be down sort of the right side of your body, front of your body. Perhaps a sensation in your lumbar back, but a gentle sensation. Try and relax your neck and your head and just notice how your back changes its shape. So as all that fades away, we'll just hug our knees in, right one first, then left one. And a nice little rock, massage your back. And then when you're ready, we'll roll up to seated, come to the other side. So I'm just going to switch around on the mat, bring the cushion with you. And then cat's tail on the left. Lying on your left, right knee over. If you can grab your foot, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's not entirely that important. And then just finding this lovely gentle twist to whatever degree you want to do it. Try and relax the head and neck. You might come into this pose really gently and feel like you're not doing very much, but give it the 5 minutes and you'll find that you probably can sort of really play with rolling that shoulder over eventually. As you breathe deeply, be amused or just explore how your body moves. The movement of the waist, the movement of the rib cage, the shoulders. So there's a lovely pose for your solar plexus. Any twist is enhancing the health of the liver, gallbladder, spine and nervous system, digestive system. Just over halfway through, just see if we can explore moving the shoulder back if that feels right. If it doesn't, stay where you are. Following your breath. Notice when your mind goes off on complete tangents and just bringing it back to the present moment. Just check in through your body even now to see if there's tension in the buttocks or lower back, sides of the waist. And then one more deep breath. Gently release your foot, roll back onto your left side. Support your body as you roll back onto your mat. Maybe a nice long breath in, a slow sigh out. And just noticing what you're feeling, where you're feeling it, how good you feel in the moment. Where you can feel chi flowing, maybe coolness, any shift in temperature anywhere. And then gently we'll bring our right leg in and left. We always do one leg at a time, always supports the core and the lower back. But the reason the right leg comes in, it just follows the line of the large intestine, the ascending colon first. So a nice little rock. We're going to come up, we'll do caterpillar. Today I'm going to use a little cushion or a folded blanket under the knees to make it a little bit easier. And it doesn't have to be very high, just that little bit of support so that your legs aren't entirely flat. And this is a nice pose. So we're not hurting knees, we're avoiding hips, and we're not stretching our belly too much. Just let the pads of your buttocks separate so that you can feel your sit bones connect more to your mat. And then in your own time, let's just explore this fold forward where we stretch the whole length of our back here, back of the body, stimulating our bladder, the urinary bladder meridian. As we soften into this pose, just relaxing your shoulders. Releasing any tightness in your legs. How do you feel? What do you notice? Are there any sensations in your back? Where do you feel the stretch most? Legs, perhaps? Breathing to your belly. Even though we're folded forward, try to feel the breath down deep. and the movement up into the chest. And as you focus on your breath while in this pose, you might find there's a little bit of movement here. Where can you feel this most in your legs? Calves, backs of knees, or the hamstrings? Just with a few more moments, notice if there's any more stretch in your pose. This is a beautiful pose for surrendering and sort of bowing forwards, letting go. So we'll take one more breath. Gently lifting up, and as you do so, just feeling all the sensations shift and change in the backs of your legs and your back. And then lying down. Really slowly, really delicately. Deep breath. As you sigh, you can just let everything start to gently soften. Each breath, you'll soften a little bit more. What part of your body is the last part to let go? Is it a part that doesn't feel safe enough to let go quite yet? So we'll gently bring our knees in, give yourself a little hug. It's so important to self-care, self-nurture, because we can't pour from an empty cup. We all have to make sure that we're okay. So I'd like to do bench pose, which does involve a stretch of the front of the body, but because, Maureen, probably for you, I'd suggest maybe just a very low blanket rather than a cushion. As much as bench doesn't actually stretch too much of the lower belly, and it's more sort of the upper part of the body, still I think something very low is going to be a little bit better for any kind of front stretch movement. So literally just having it behind your upper back so that everything here is nice and sort of flat and not too curved. And in actual fact, I think I'm going to stay on this one. Let's just put our timer on. There's ways of making it nice and soft, but still having that sense that the shoulders can fall backwards a little bit and the chest is lifted, and we have that sort of relief in the upper back where we're all hunched forward most of the time. Just support your neck. If you need a little rolled up blanket behind your neck or a block for the head, whatever you need. A very gentle, restful pose. Even here, just notice if you're tense in the lower back and your buttocks. Even if there's a bit of tension in the abdominal muscles. Bring the breath deep and that will soften. With your eyes closed, just allow whatever inspiration and downloads come into your mind. As you lie here, ask for healing from universal energies that we don't see. So if you need emotional healing, physical healing on a certain area, just invite healing in. Every breath you take, perhaps take a lovely blue light energy down to whatever needs balance. In your mind's eye, visualization can be very powerful. If something is sore, you could visualize the red inflammation, the soreness, the angry flesh or internal flesh, just sort of becoming nice and pink and fleshy and healthy blood flow, reduction in inflammation. See yourself healed. How do you feel? Keep checking in with yourself. And we'll take one more breath. Gently lift your head, lift your upper body, just pull that cushion or blanket away and come down. And even though it might be in sort of an inch or 2 inches of lift, just notice how your body feels. That relief perhaps in the upper back. Let your body find real neutral spine when you relax the chin and the neck. And then you might just feel that very gentle sort of softening. And we'll bring our knees in. Last pose is one we do quite often is waterfall. Wonderful for just allowing the fluid to drain back in the opposite direction in the body, and for the heart. So either a cushion or that little blanket that you had before, we'll just wedge it underneath the buttocks and have a nice lift. Lovely for your third eye and the upper spiritual chakras. So it's quite nice to do at an end of a class in a physical sense, but in a spiritual sense as well. As your eyes close, tune into Ajna, your third eye, perhaps seeing the third dimensional colour is indigo, the fifth dimensional energy here, which we are all as humanity moving into the fifth dimension, is a crystal colour. I like to perhaps think of a clear quartz. If your eyes are closed, you can just feel yourself relax into this pose. Allow yourself to have some lovely, loving, healing thoughts towards yourself and your loved ones. Your breathing could be gentle here, but you can still feel the belly and the chest rise and fall. And again, this is a really nice pose for your bladder channel. Be the conscious observer of your thoughts right now. Were they positive, negative? And then we'll just gently lower the feet down, bend your knees softly. Pop the cushion away, extend into neutral spine. Gently, one limb at a time moving. And then palms up. As we lie here just relaxing, before we come into relaxation, it'd be nice to do a pranayama, breathing practice. So if we allow our chin to tuck in, we can come into ujjayi breath, the one that sounds like Darth Vader, the one that sounds like a snore. So just allowing the chin to tuck in a little, and we close off the breathing pipe a little and breathing like a snore. This slows the breath down. We can feel the belly rise, chest rise and fall. Allow this breath to be very gentle. It doesn't have to be too harsh on your throat. It has a lovely warming, heating effect around your throat chakra, so a lovely balancing here. Let's just do a few more. And then you can relax that breath. Draw your knees in, have a little hug. And if you want to remain lying down, please do pull a blanket over. And if you want to come up to seated, again, let yourself be comfortable and warm. So I'd like to just talk you through a visualization, really, a nice healing one, as I think this is the energy for today. So get comfortable. Whether you're sitting or lying down, I'd like you to imagine that you are within a pyramid that just fits you and maybe a few other people in it. It doesn't have to be very large, and it doesn't have to be like the pyramids in Egypt. It can be a pyramid with a base of a square that is made of just a framework where all the four sides just join at the top in a peak. Or you can envisage yourself within a crystal pyramid, and that crystal can be anything from clear quartz to an amethyst pyramid to a rose quartz, whatever you'd like to see, but bring yourself visually, seated or lying down, into a pyramid. So as you lie or you gaze up, you can see the sides or the shape that it makes and the top. Pyramids are geometrically extremely healing. And as you lie or sit in there, bring your hands onto the area of your body that perhaps needs healing. You can visualize this rather than actually physically bring the hands there, or you can just imagine your hands being placed on these areas: hips, knees, belly, back, shoulders, head. And you may think you only have two hands. You can only put them on two places. But I would like you to invite, whether you have guides or angels that you like to bring in, invoke them and invite their healing hands to also be placed on you. A little bit like a group Reiki session, where everybody just gently places either hands on or slightly above your body. Imagine pure, beautiful white light from the universal field up above, streaming down into the tip of the pyramid, and allow that light to fill the walls of the pyramid, but also your spiritual healing energies around you, to allow this light to come through their hands and onto your body, into your body, on all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever healing and balancing you need. Let the wisdom of the universe and your higher self know where this healing needs to go. And as you lie there in this visualization, imagine bright light extending from the hands of all your healers and just allowing it to flow through your auric field. I'd like you to invite maybe a loved one or a friend who also needs healing to maybe lie or sit next to you and receive this same healing. Allow unseen spiritual healers to place hands on and for them to receive this. So just sit for a few more minutes in a state of allowing, acceptance, gratitude, and just love, and let yourself be completely healed. Very gently now. Still with this visualization quite strong in your mind, put it in your memory bank. And whenever you're seated in your armchair or waiting on a bench somewhere, and you just need to feel some healing, you can imagine this pyramid around you, inviting the healing hands, the universal light. There's no reason why you can't just close your eyes and be back in this space whenever you need to be, just for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Your daily dose of healing. So just coming back into your day very gradually, bring your mind back to your body and your breath. Just feel your breath and your body moving, have that connection. Just a lovely gratitude thought, allow that to just drift through your mind like a passing cloud. And then gently moving your body, fingers and toes, rocking the head, wherever feels nice. Rolling the shoulders if you're seated. And then if you're lying down, just bring your knees into chest. Perhaps reluctantly coming back into your day, but knowing that you can always find these moments to come back into a lovely scene that you had in your mind, or take 3 breaths and that will center yourself, whatever it is. So joining me seated in your own time. I myself like to have all sorts of little images in my mind, whether it's a beach scene or a woodland or this pyramid, and just have to close your eyes and come back. So bring your hands to heart center, lovelies. Om Shanti. Namaste.